Get ready now, ladies and gents. So this will be the last set of the day. Hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, have a great time watching the next set. Here you go, ladies and gents.
Welcome everybody to the last set of the day. We've got NA's finest versus Crimes to Humanity. Now, if you remember earlier in the day, right? This isn't the first NA team that Crime has faced off against, right? They played against Goats. And although, maybe some technical difficulties, we saw lighter games. And they beat Goats. Now, this, in my eyes, as we're getting draft going here, well, this is going to be, does NA's finest actually live up to their name? Because Crimes have already taken down what most consider to be the top team in the region. If you're truly NA's finest, you kind of got to pull this one out. You kind of got to get a dub here.
Yep. There's a lot to live up to here, but again, I love to see it. I love to see people talk the talk and then later walk it because they can really back their skills, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see. We got a few bands coming in. What do you think?
I think you're looking at NA's finest. And, you've got some console players there, so we're going to see the fairly standard at this point. Honestly, Lex Talus bands come out. Prioling tanks as always, and if you remember Crimes, they like Lee Fernando. They like playing around the main tank. It works really well for them. NA's finest says, nope, we're going to your backline. Goodbye. We're just going to ignore your first pick. So, Shaw Rom, I mean, that's pretty telling, right? That's pretty telling. We're going to your backline. Crimes to Humanity, throwing it back a few months, though. Grover Furia. That's really hard to dive. Lost a lot of its power. Deep Roots is gone. Exterminate has been nerfed. A lot of changes since we saw this having a 70% win rate, but still good. And I mean, NA's finest still taking away some of the more passive tools. Right now, the setup looks like they're trying to play pretty aggressive here.
I do like the Fury Grover. Together, they're just a really good combo that I guess a lot of people, they still do. Here's the thing, Grover can now, without roots, be what he wants to be, which is like the damage dealer in that combo, which is great. He can keep his ult a bit more, with the changes. Fury is still the same. We all know what Fury is, right? But that's very interesting, as you mentioned to me. I'm seeing Leon. This is a very EU pick.
Yeah? I haven't seen this on NA at all. I think picking it into the Ruckus is
difficult. I agree.
Bold. Maybe a bit interesting. I definitely think I like the DPS from NA's finest. I think that's really good. I think you slap a controller player on Koga, you throw a Corv Mark behind him, he's going to do some work. I think you put the Ruckus on top of Leon, she falls over. So I really like the NA draft, but how's the EU guy feel about the EU draft?
I'll just keep it real, bro. I think NA's draft here is better objectively. Let's take a look at the ults for a second, right? How I like to split ults and how I see they get value is combos in a team game are going to win the game, right? So what you want is one of the best of the other. So you want a damage ult, you want a CC ult, and what you're going to count as damage ults here are like your Leon's Enlightenment, Tyrus Crossfire. These are the damage ults, but there's no real CC for them to be able to just cleanly confirm a kill. I mean, they've got Fernando to just support them as a support art and just get them in there, right? But if they're not able to stop people in their tracks, again, this is a very big problem for against NA's draft. They've got Ruckus who's going to go in full blown, full speed. They got Koga too. They've got a Corvus behind that as well, who's also just going to give them so much of the sustain to do what they like. So yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for me for EU. I'm not a big fan, I'll be honest. They've got ways to do it with damage, but can damage alone win games? Very hard.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? I want to see Tyralt plus Fury ult just blow up in his I want to see what that looks like. So that'll be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll work. I don't think. Listen, you don't pick Leon into Ruckus if you're not confident. That's like seeing the other team as a Drogue or an Andro and you picking Drogue. It's you know what you're getting yourself into at this point. So you gotta wonder, did they just miss something incredibly obvious? Or is this Leon actually going to be able to pull something out? So we are on Shattered Desert, and honestly, I think this makes things even harder for the EU team, man. It's side lane. Like, how are you going to stop these on Ruckus? And Precision and DR Tyra. So right off the bat, that's maybe the answer they're looking for.
Yeah, as I said, it's all damage on the side of EU, and I think they're just best off just full committing into it. I don't think Alacrity, which we swapped first, would have been the play. They'd have been dashing around a lot, but you wouldn't have been very much impacting the game. I think they've got to go hard, get the Fury ult up, get their damage in, and I think that's probably the best way to try and win this. Just go hard and try not to make mistakes. It's going to be very difficult without the help of CC.
This is gonna poke a little bit. NA's Finest gets some tap time and resets. That is Crimes who is on the red side and NA's Finest on the blue side. So looks like NA and the blue do currently have map control, forcing out the red team here. And it's tough. We're just kind of poking and prodding. Not sure how much the split favors blue team here. You figure the main tank. Like just having a main tank in these sorts of poke fights, it's so much objective pressure, makes the game so much easier for you. Leon's 1 HP to cross Macron is not going. Nando's still getting forced out. Not much from the precision Leon. No one's really just taken any damage yet, but blue team slowly edging this one out. Poke, Q connects. Koga forced out still. Just poking. No one's really built anything. Not even close to the Fury ult of all things. Leon ult is the first ult online. Corvus about to have his, Azan about to have his, so we're about to hit the gas pedal. Cross map Leon ult whiffs. Nothing connects. Nando's still getting forced out, looking for some more aggressive plays from the red team. Leon Corvus ult on point. Doesn't get too much value. I'm just gonna reset, but there's finally the Ruckus dive on the side that we talked about. That's gonna be the Tyra going down early. So
it's gonna be a huge problem now with Fury ult just coming up now. They're 4v5 trying to do this now.
4v5 and the Fury ult. I mean, hey, listen, man, we don't care if we're down numbers. We've got 30% damage and 30% move speed. Do they even have overtime? I don't think they have overtime. It's gonna be Crimes to Humanity is gonna pull out the first mid fight on the red side. And I mean, geez, that Fury ult. That's. I mean, who cares? We're down players. We got Fury ult. We're good to go, man. That's all we need.
That is all they need, honestly. Oh, so what I'm noticing, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm confused, but it looks like the drafts were swapped. I thought EU were the ones. Yeah, the names were swapped. Yeah, okay.
Well, we can take this excellently timed pause to potentially fix some spectator issues. So, just a reminder, so that is Crimes to Humanity on the red side with 1 point, and that would be NA's Finest on the with 0 points on the blue side. So as we do get unpaused on our end, it looks like NA's Finest looking like they're set up to get a bit of a full hold here. Only have the BK ult available, so maybe not too much. Crime's just looking to shove their way through this left side. Rock is looking real threatening, but again, just sort of this early poke fight stage that we've seen in the previous mid fight.
Yeah, I'd say we're seeing a lot more of these poke fights right now. I'd say, although it might not be the most pleasant thing to watch, it's a very good sign of a high-level game. It's literally like a game of chess, right? You don't want to make the first move to get countered.
Down, the Leon ult misses as well. Hit a Leon ult, please. The hitbox is as big as a truck, man. He tries his best. No, he misses the Q as well. Yes, so he could have got 2 there, but his team is gonna have to reset. Does end up cleaning 1. Could have been 3. Very.
See, if you had the controller in there, you would have hit that. Just saying.
There we go. We'll go over that in VOD review. Maybe we should have plugged in the controller's voice.
Yep.
But regardless of input method, that is still NA's Finest, holding up the defense here. Crimes still looking for a way to break this. Azan holding down the right side, Ruck on the left, giving a little bit of space. That's 4 people from Crimes shoving down the right side. Just again poking and prodding. Nando Shield gets forced out pretty early. Neither team has a hard advantage. Does either team really want to hit the go button first, though?
Difficult one to say, honestly. I mean, if we look a bit more into the draft of Crimes, it's very hard to do. Tyra Mark into like Leon and Grover Spam, very hard to walk into initially. On the other side, though, if they do that, if they do that, it's very hard to get back out. They're not the most mobile of comps compared to NA's Finest.
and they lose one. They lose another. Just kidding. I was gonna say they were gonna take another clean fight, but Fiesca's not gonna let them have it. Looking for the kill on another, not available. Sunny's finest. They've done nothing but lose slowly so far. No gas pedals have been hit, but you're looking at Fury ult coming online. X-Mandem is going to go into the back on Ruckus after dodging the on-Q. Pateson just kind of pressuring point very slowly here, but it's NA's finest in the backline. Fiesca doesn't carry, he's in the backline.
Oh! He doesn't hit any!
Not even the trade.
Wow,
Oh
that's
my
unfortunate.
God, that's an insane dagger.
Leon got trapped in 2 mines there, but that was very much the play to dash in there. That was really good until it didn't land. Unfortunate.
Okay. You know, maybe Fiesca's figured it out. Maybe the Leon into the Ruckus is the matchup. That's the way to go. But, you know, so that was one go. Like, these teams are playing so slow, and I honestly, like, it's so weird because you'd figure this would favor Crimes, right? But they have the Fury ult, like, I don't know what they're waiting for. Both these teams just kind of playing slow. I wonder if we're gonna get that sort of more poke-heavy style again, or if someone's just gonna hit the gas pedal.
Honestly, I see the gas pedal coming out now. I think they've had a bit of time to feel each other out now. They got 5 ults to play with, a few combos to play with, so yeah, I'd see it. I mean, they set up now on the opposite sides of the map. We've got Ruckus on the right, looking like he's ready to flank. We've got Koga going down the middle, just he's sussing it out. In fact, no, it looks like we've got a bit of a poke fight again. Interesting. Yeah.
This is taking some space. I mean, they use the ult, but they use it on the objective.
Yeah.
Building cooldowns pop. There's a Fury ult though, so maybe they are going in.
Leon is alone though when dashing.
He's finest. Cody's raring to go. He's looking at that backline. He's looking
that
at
Leon.
He's 1 HP. And no value out of the Fury ult really. And NA's finest kind of just slowly capturing a point with a Ruckus. Not what you expect to see. He does go in. Does just dash right back out. That's fine. No worries there. Only the Nando ult for Crimes. Not much
It's finest.
to do with that.
The ults, yeah. It's very interesting to watch.
Just kind of poking here. Finally gonna... No, he's using his cooldowns on the objective, man. What are you doing? He missiles the wall. Which is a bit unfortunate.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
The best of us.
Yep.
Cross map, not gonna work out. Cobalt just to live. Nando does eventually have to touch. So at this point now the go.
Yeah, eventually they have to hold now.
The Nando ult comes out. Nothing left for Crimes, but the Ruckus stuck in a super awkward spot. Will eventually go down. I think that's the first kill of this mid fight at 99%. Finally, the Tyrell comes out. NA's finest, the shot not enough. He's so low. Fiesca does get traded out. Does get traded out. NA's finest still alive here. Maybe looking for something. The Tyrell to try and burn point. Corvus just sitting in the back, keeping this Koga alive. Not much to do here. They might look for some sort of dive. Ruckus is 1 HP, has to get out, but Clear does get a pick on the Grover. They still have enough support from Furia. But X-Mandem, he's so low, he does get the heal, not enough.
Oh my god.
Galvanized, maybe with a touch, not
This
in
was a point
time.
fight. Wow.
This is so slow, but like, it's, the margins are so close. Like either team, the Q, not enough. He's 1 HP, he's 1 HP, the slide, he's fine, he's safe. Dude, if he had killed him with the slide, I would have lost my mind. Both these teams, like, Fiesca, dude, this man, we were talking about how this would be a bad game for him, but he's coming up clutch. He's opening up a lot of these fights, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him, like, way on top of the damage charts.
Sometimes, yeah. I do have to go back to, like, the chess analogy, though. Now that I've seen it, you got Nando on one side and Ruckus on one. Like, neither wants to move before the other, really. So, if NA's finest can get the point, it's in their best interest to just hold and then use it as a defense tool.
He's slowly getting poked out in this part of the map. Maybe it doesn't favor a bit more awkward for the BK, and he does get caught out, but Leon into the Ruckus, pops the ult early, does connect, forces it
this
out.
time.
NA's finest just really, like, look at their HP bars, man. They're so low. The Nando walking forward with shield up, both their tanks 1 HP in the back left corner.
That's on.
Corvus is doing his best. Tyra does get the angle, the nade is enough, but traded out. Fiesca, the carry, is down. The Ruckus finally does commit, but that's why he wasn't going in earlier, I guess. And that's gonna be the push for Crimes. Man, forgive me for doubting these teams. They know what they're doing.
They have a tad too many credits.
Surely, and there you go. Look at Leon's damage right at the top. That Tyra buff and that Furia buff is definitely playing into this. Very much so.
It's not even Murktar though, it's nade.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous, honestly. Yeah. But NA's finest, yeah, like it seems to me like they're just very much afraid to like go. Like they're holding ults for a very long time, and like we're seeing them losing the game now. I think this is the time where they've got to change something. Something's clearly not working, and they're playing very, 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 very slow. I think I'd like to see them take a risk now to get back in the game.
Right, especially with comeback mechanic. You got basically all your ults. If you're smart, you just notice that the Nando bought morale boost, and if he had ult, he wouldn't buy morale boost. So you know that if you go now, he's not gonna have it up. But one fireball into like 7 people, never mind. He's got it right real quick. Corvus ult is gonna force them out of not going aggressive. They're just gonna slowly abuse the capital point.
Yeah.
It's just comeback mechanic. They are more aggressive this time. They're taking a wider angle. But Crimes is gonna rotate away from that. Nando may be getting caught out a little bit. He should be fine. They just forced the Grover ult out. Nobody's dying. No
they need to commit now, right there. I think Leon should have dropped there. They're focusing the tank now.
Nando ult does get forced out. Maybe that's what we look out for the go. But I mean, Crimes has a touch. Crimes has a touch. Do they have touch?
They don't.
They do. The wall doesn't last long enough. The wall doesn't last long enough. But now there's nothing left for Crimes. NA's finest. If there was a time to press the W keys on your keyboards, you're located in the top left corner. You should press them. They're really strong. Use the ultimate abilities as Nando 1 HP. They're just continuing to confirm point. He's just living, man. It's a Fernando, but 99% comeback mechanic. They force them off long enough. It's on a knife's edge, man. It's on a knife's edge, but they're making it work.
NA's finest, I think, played into the advances there with the comeback mechanic. I think it's a very easy thing to overlook. They did move a bit faster, but it seems to work for them. They just kept the point. And still patient in their a bit faster approach. And have to apologize for not knowing what talent Tyra had before. But regardless, the damage is still up because of all these things in play. Like, they're just much softer and it's easier for Leon to play. Otherwise, she'd have a very long time just shooting on shields and, you know, walls. It seems to be working very well.
It's DPS traded out here. It's a bit of a 4v4. Now a dive comes in.
Hexafire was cancelled there though. Looks like he didn't get what he wanted from the position.
Fine, but his team follows up. Kogalt, like, once again to live. But, I mean, live he does. And NA's finest now. It's their time to be approaching the last choke. As Tyra falls over and Leon ult whiffs. Their time to be looking for a push with plenty of time remaining. Again, maybe you don't want to spend your ults, right? 2 free on a push, not generally something you want to do because you're not going to have enough time for the free mid fight if you do use them. So at this point, you're pushing. They have defensive advantage. They have more range than you. The W key is located at the top left of your keyboard. You basically got to be aggressive at this point. So we'll see how they try to make it happen.
Say the longer this game goes on, I think it's in the best interest of NA's finest, purely because of the wrecker. The Fernando cannot just sit where he wants to, and he's also the solo tank. So, yeah, Com's gonna fall off a bit in that aspect.
Overall gets forced out. Azan kind of falls over, and again, like, they do burn the Ruckus or burn the Nando better, but you can't help but feel like there's a better option. You have Azan and Ruckus in a core pocket, dude.
30 seconds remaining.
Like, go! I just want to see them go, just once. Anytime. I just want to see the Ruckus use his dashes, the Koga use his dashes, is on ult in. Maybe something, anything.
Yeah. Time is running out though.
Malts.
We've got 10 seconds left on the push. Blue team trying to get back into it. They are easing this payload. Fernando's got to get in a position. But like I said, the wrecker is working against him. He's not able to get in a position where he can stop it. He's back on it again. See, look, there you go. The wrecker is working in their favor, yeah. He couldn't get close.
Okay.
Either way, he'd have died on the point. Probably that's the best, maybe not the best thing. You could argue, yeah, you're giving them a bit of volt charge, but again, very difficult for him to do as the game goes on. The wrecker is a huge factor. They've got 3 wrecker 2s. That's enough for Fernando here. It's going to be difficult now.
You know, one thing I will say is that the Nando's KD is looking real nice though after that push that he let in. But going into the next mid, right? So, it's tough because, like, are they gonna go in? I feel weird talking about it again. It's been working. The wreckers, they got free record 2s, man. Maybe
3-3.
at this point,
I mean, They do have the point
Grand
control. Everything. They have got BKO. They've got the Corvusol. They've got Azan who can live a bit with the wall. Maybe they play slow again. I can't really see them going so fast. Like even into the Fury right now. Look, they've got to slow down a bit. Look, they're just hiding. King Bomb's now going in. Cancelled early. Doesn't want to die. Fair enough.
No cap for either team right now. Nando is getting forced out. Really hard does trade fun. The Ruckus does get pushed by 4 people. Nando left out to try, but does kind of favor NA's finest. You're gonna be able to pressure the objective a bit harder. Get some cap time, so the retake is hard. The BK getting caught out. The Tyra has the angle. He's gonna clean up the kill. Leon pushes forward, looking for the kill on the Koga, but it is just traded out. NA's finest gonna reset, but you're not upset at all at 50% cap. And Primes is going to look to hold here.
A whole lot of dashes from Leon. She's just in and out, in and out.
I haven't seen this kind of mobility for being both. Speaking of mobility, Ruckus into the backline, looking for the Fury, forces the ult out.
Oh,
Nothing
they forced
else.
the business space. Yeah, that's the problem. Again, it's a chess thing. Fernando's just gonna hold and hold and hold, and Ruckus is gonna have to either dive or just grind away to survive and get value.
He's on ult, he's in. NA's finest are finally in. Dash, no just kidding, dashes out. Ping pong with the Ruckus though. Ruckus is gonna go for the Leon. The Fury is low. Ruckus and Koga in on the backline. They are gonna get it. Azan dies on, looking to die on point. But Koga, dude, X-Mandem, holy headshots for the triple
kill.
And they hold their W keys until the last possible moment, but when they do press them, they press them hard and round out that game.
Wow, what are your thoughts on that one?
That was super, like, I want to say, like, technically played. Like, you don't see that kind of slow poke. Like, listen, man, you don't see that kind of slow poke.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting considering the comp NA had, right? But I think it was good game management from them in the end. It was always in their best interest with the tools they had. They just always had the ability to have the point.